Now, Guernsey has its first support group for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender and questioning community. Liberate aims to provide support for LGBTQ members of the community, where there was none before. Most of you will probably be familiar with what LGBT is, but the Q may be a new one.
The Q is for questioning, and that can be questioning over your gender. It can be questioning over how you identify in terms of your sexuality. So that's really what the Q stands for.
So, Ellie Jones is a homosexual and a member of the group's committee.
I didn't actually grow up in Guernsey, I grew up in the UK. I moved over here when I was about 18. I did the usual things, went out into town, met a lot of people. Never really found the right boy for me. And then at about 25, a girl kissed me. And just had that kind of heartbeat moment of, oh my gosh, that's what everybody's talking about. That's what this love thing is. That's what, and just, the heartbeats, the flutters, the everything. And then I was like, I'm gay. And I was like, came out to my family and friends, and I've actually had a really positive experience.
The Guernsey community, how have you felt that you've been reacted to?
Within my family and friends, people that I know as a general rule, it's really all been positive. I think it's a lack of education sometimes. People are scared of what they don't know. I suppose that's why they call it homophobia. It's supposedly a fear, but I don't really think that you could be scared of gay people. We're not really that scary.
From a kind of social point of view, what challenges do you face with tax returns?
Because I don't have the option to get married or have a civil partnership, the rights that I have, like you said, with tax, etc., are not the same breaks as I'd have if I was straight. I don't think that's really fair, because I can't change how I feel and who I am. I wouldn't ask anybody straight to try and change how they feel about the opposite sex. I think the main one really for me would be if something happened to my partner or to myself, hospital rights, visitation rights, things like that, not the same. You wouldn't be allowed in, you wouldn't have any rights to be able to say, this is what they wish for, this is what they want, and that's the big one really for me.
What would you like to see Guernsey states do then?
For me personally, there is no other way than just equality. I'm not different in any other way. Apart from who I fall in love with. Really, that's what I'd like to change. I think we should skip straight. I don't think we should do the civil partnership thing personally, but I think we should skip straight to equal marriage.
That's Ellie Jones, who's a member of the committee on that new group, the new group Liberate. It's already active in the community. It has a Facebook page giving advice as to how islanders can get involved with the organisation. Martin Gavey is the group's honorary chairman.
Liberate is a group that we've set up, which is a support group for LGBTQ people, which means lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender and questioning people, their families, their friends, carers, just so that they've got a touchstone then within the community to come get advice on various issues to do with LGBTQ. And also what we do is we trying to promote equality within our society, so that can be anything from equal marriage to how you fill in your tax form and how you're treated by the authorities when you come to do that. And also we're a fun group.
Why do you feel the support group's needed in Guernsey?
It's been needed for many, many years. I mean, if I remember when I grew up as a young man, I identified, I guess, as gay when I was 8 years old. But I didn't have a label for that until, I was in my teens probably. Personally, I was ashamed about being gay because of the way society was then. I mean, when I was growing up, homosexuality was illegal. It was also classed as a mental illness by the World Health Organization until the mid-90s. And gradually society's attitudes are changing, but we're still not there yet. And we still have people who are having to come out to their family and friends. I mean, you never get that in the straight world, heterosexual world. But it's a peculiarity then that if you're gay or lesbian or bisexual, that you have to come out to your friends and family. Why is that? Why should it matter? So, yes, there is a need. And this is why we've set up the group, is to provide that support.
How do you feel Guernsey rates for acceptance over here?
I think we've come a very long way. We're a small island and we've got the potential to get this right much more easily than some of the bigger jurisdictions. Australia's having some sort of troubles over it at the moment with things like equal marriage. But Guernsey, we're a small community. We know most people over here. Everyone tends to get along pretty well. But I would hope that the laws now start to reflect that people should be treated equally. If you're straight and I'm gay, then you're treated completely differently to how I'm treated, by whether it's the tax system, whether it's healthcare, for example, whether it is to do with whether you can marry the person you love. Why is it that we are treated so differently?
What barriers do you think you're going to come up against in Guernsey with this fight for awareness and equality?
I think a lot of the barriers will be around people's personal faith and religious beliefs. Guernsey has some very strong faith communities. I myself am someone who has a strong faith. I found it very difficult because of that to accept who I was. But in the end, actually what we're hoping to do is to open some dialogue with faith communities. We're not going to judge them on their beliefs. We hope they do the same to us about our sexuality. You know, it's just having that conversation with people and saying, have you thought about it this way? You know, and having a really good conversation about what it's like to grow up as LGBTQ, how society's attitudes actually affect your health and well-being, can have a profound effect on individuals.
That was Martin Gavey, the honorary chairman of the new group Liberate, talking to our reporter John Fernandez. If you want to find out more about them, you'll find them online on Facebook, or you can call 244 018. There is another way that you can find out more about the group as well. Make sure you're listening to Mid-Morning this morning with Faye, when she'll be talking to another of the founders of the group about her relationship with her son and how it's changed over the years after he told her he was gay more than 25 years ago.
Key Longley.
How has it all been made possible?
By bringing on